Southwest Airlines started inspecting engines in its fleet of Boeing 737s, the type of plane involved in this week's deadly engine explosion. The ultrasonic tests are checking for possible cracks in the metal fan blades. One of those blades snapped during Tuesday's incident due to metal fatigue. That caused the engine to break apart. Chris Van Cleve is here with new details about the scary 22-minute ordeal. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. On Capitol Hill, there are growing calls for hearings and investigations following the accident. Southwest is now confirming it's giving passengers on this flight $5,000. And this morning, we are getting a look at the terrifying moments and heroic actions inside the damaged 737. Also, we've noticed a troubling pattern of passengers unprepared for what to do during an emergency in the sky. Moments after the 737's engine exploded, sending shrapnel through a cabin window, passengers rushed to help the injured and dying.
I'm very proud of him. This is a calling that he has, and he did amazing.
Stephanie Needham was on board Southwest Flight 1380. Her husband, Andrew, a firefighter from Texas, knew something was wrong 7 rows behind him.
I looked at her eyes, and she basically gave me the approval to go back there. Felt moved to act, as well as other people on that plane. Tim McGinney, he was my big guy, had my back.
Fellow Texan Tim McGinty, who was traveling with his wife Kristen, helped Needham pull 43-year-old Jennifer Reardon back inside the plane. She was nearly sucked out that shattered cabin window. The mother of 2 did not survive.
The force of the wind, it was just impossible for him alone to pull her back in. There was nothing we could do to help or nothing he could do to save her, and we just feel for them because I know they're grieving.
Everybody breathe, we're almost landing.
After the engine failure, pictures show many passengers incorrectly wearing their oxygen masks, which deployed after a rapid drop in cabin pressure. The masks are meant to be worn over both your mouth and nose.
We give explicit instructions about what to do when that mask drops.
Sara Nelson, president of the Association of Flight Attendants, says many passengers ignore important pre-flight safety instructions, including how to use the oxygen masks.
We're not just there to serve you a Coke. We're actually there and required to be on the plane because we have certain safety functions that we have to perform to keep the passengers in our care safe.
Nelson says 2/3 of safety briefings are now given on video, and she believes that can lead some flyers to think it's the start of an in-flight movie, so fewer people pay attention. But as they tell you, and as is described here in the safety card, there is a way to put on the mask. It needs to go over your nose and mouth, and there's a reason you want to wear it like this, because if you depressurize in the plane and your nose is here, you're going to be sucking in air that there's not enough oxygen in that air. You're going to still pass out in as little as 30 seconds. So
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just looking at you right now. It doesn't even fit snugly around. There's a whole area in here, and I don't see that. It's not.
There's no nose cutout to guide you. And Chris, most people never read this card.
no, but you know what? Take 30 seconds and look at this before you get on before you take off.
Yeah, or right now, go watch one of the videos on YouTube. I mean, in other words, if you're too busy at the beginning of the flight, you can go figure this out beforehand.
You can, but you know, in these situations, people are going to panic, so you want to just have it almost secondhand. And if it means 30 seconds to where the exits are, or count the number of rows to the exit, and just remember it goes over like this.
They're going to redesign
or how about paying attention to the flight attendant? How about that? Thank you very much, Chris.
Sure thing.
Good to have you at the table. That's very important stuff.